Cooper Flagg's back, ladies and gentlemen, as the Mavericks look for a rare road win. They take on Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks. We'll get you ready for this afternoon's game coming up next on the DLLS Mavs pregame show. It's the DLLS Mavs pregame show live in our downtown Dallas DLLS Sports Studios. Kevin Gray alongside our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr. and our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Crowell. We, of course, are DLLS Mavs, your favorite guys, come your favorite team, especially when Cooper Flagg makes his return to your Mavericks. We'll get you ready for this afternoon's game coming up here over the course of the next half hour. Really appreciate you joining us here on this Martin Luther King Day. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe while you're here as well on DLLS Sports. Ron, good to see you in studio. How we doing?
Feels good to be back in the stew.
In the stew.
In the stew.
You're channeling your inner Corella, I see.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty bad one, but you know.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
No, it's fine.
The arbiter of shortening things says that that's a bad one.
It's not what I wouldn't go with it.
What would you go with then?
Studio?
I would go studio, yeah.
Not the stew?
Yeah, I'd go with studio.
You go with studio. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bobby, what's going on?
Not much. I'm happy to be at the off.
Yikes.
Boo.
Yikes.
What? It's short for office.
Boo. That's worse than stew.
Yeah. Stew.
Off? That's
stew.
wild.
People know stew. You say stew, people know stew.
No, they don't know that
No
either.
one knows
But
stew.
that one was
People know
awful.
stew.
No,
a lot
they
of people know
don't.
stew.
That is not a thing.
The two. What? People say
It's a
stew?
thing. That's a
Who?
thing.
Never
Who
heard
says
of
that?
A rapper thing. I'm going to the stew.
Never heard of that in my life. Y'all are both making up.
In the words of KG, I've aged myself.
Wait, whoa.
Maybe
Whoa.
stew is like for like children. Or
We got
something.
Bobby talking about, I'm on the wrong side of 30. You talking about, I'm aging my, like, what's
Have
going
I
on
aged
here?
myself?
Like, jeez,
I've
man.
exposed myself.
It's just chopped liver.
I
around
apologize.
here.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Let's keep our livers in place.
At least we're not talking about like meat sauce and stuff chill like they were in the Cowboy show earlier today. They was doing a whole lot of bit earlier.
I need sauce on my meat.
Please tell me he got that for a drop because I need that for a drop. Yeah. If you missed our Cowboy show earlier,
6,000.
You missed.
Wow, that
Damn,
Bobby was ran
6,000
when
years
Lord of the Rings
old.
was gone.
Yeah,
Give him the ring.
I knew Gandalf the Grey's grandparents.
Oh wow!
Give him the ring.
Dang, dude.
People do not say stew. You're not gonna make that a thing. Talking about
Yeah,
y'all old. That's not a thing.
People definitely say stew, but you know ball.
6,000 is crazy.
6,000 is
6,000
wild.
is-
That's doing a whole.
But you
lot.
know what? I look great for my age.
I'm about to
all
say,
right?
is that what it is? You must look
And I'm only
Probably
5,998, you big jerk.
Got Methuselah in studio here with Bobby over there sitting out to his computer.
Sorry, I'm prepping a tweet for the DLLS Mavs show account, updating everyone on how many player votes the Mavs roster got.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gathering photos. That'll be on the timeline shortly.
Okay. We'll let you know who the Eastern and Western Conference All-Star starters are a little bit later on in our pregame show. But let's get you ready for this afternoon's game as the Mavericks take on the New York Knicks. The Mavericks back on the road with the game, of course, starting at 4 p.m. Game number 44 on the season for your Dallas Mavericks. You can watch the game on either KFAA Channel 29 or on NBC or Peacock, depending on your choice. What?
Right. That's the
That's the
name
name
of
of
that
the
network. Not
That's
acceptable.
nuts. What are we doing?
That is not acceptable.
People call it that. It's
It
No,
doesn't
they
matter.
do not.
It doesn't. No one. First off, no one calls it that. Secondly, we literally can't say that word because we have to put an explicit on there, and it's tough to monetize. All right, I need you to lock in.
I apologize, everyone.
Thank you.
So is that the Mavericks taking on the New York Knicks today as the Mavericks look for a rare road win. The Mavericks, in fact, have lost 9 of their last 10 games on the road. It's just 4-14 on the road so far this year, where the Knicks today are a 10.5-point favorite The over-under being 230.5 for today's game. That gets you where these teams are coming in. The Dallas Mavericks, of course, are 12th in the West. Sit 2 games behind the Memphis Grizzlies for the 10th seed and final play-in spot in the Western Conference. Of course, the Mavericks on a 2-game winning streak, a modest one, if you will, after being the hapless Utah Jazz in back-to-back games at the American Airlines Center, as the Mavericks 5-5 in their last 10 games overall. Meanwhile, Dallas 7-8 against the East so far this year, and 8-15 against teams above 500. As the Mavericks on the road today before they return home for a quick 2-game homestand, they'll take on the Golden State Warriors on Thursday. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks, third in the Eastern Conference, sitting a game and a half behind the Celtics for the second seed in the East, coming off their third straight loss actually on Saturday when they lost to the Phoenix Suns in what was a 106-99 defeat in NYC, where the Knicks, check this out, just 2-8 in their last 10 games overall. And in fact, since winning the NBA Cup back in mid-December, just 7-10 in 17 games since winning the NBA Cup over the San Antonio Spurs. So far this year, the Knicks 7-6 against the Western Conference, but 14-4 against teams below 500 this season. The Knicks are 0-1 on their current 3-game homestand, which continues today and will end on Wednesday when they welcome in Michael Porter Jr. and the Brooklyn Nets. That gets us to the scouting report on what Bobby Crow is looking forward today.
Not Ron apologizing in the chat.
I love these people.
Respect.
They deserve professionalism at all times.
I do too. And they do, and I also do. I love you more than Ron does.
Well,
I love you the most.
I don't want to be a part of the love
more
Olympics,
than KG,
but...
more than Tanner, more than Elijah, more than more than everyone.
I don't appreciate you trying to quantify my love.
It's the love Olympics. Bobby has the gold medal now.
Yep.
Can we place at least?
It is the truth. So okay, it's a two-parter thing. One, I mean, Jalen Brunson's good. I don't have to tell you that, but coming into this game, he had scored at least 20 points in 18 straight, except for the game he got hurt. He left early, so 18 straight leading up to that one, at least 20 points, 25 plus points in 16 of those 18, and 30 or more in 8 of those 18. That dude is a capital P problem. He's really, really freaking good. Mavs will have to figure out something for him. But the thing that I'm going to be watching for is much like what I was saying whenever the Mavs played the Nuggets. Now, granted, Coop got hurt pretty early in that game, right?
He did not play in that game.
That's right. He did not play at all.
He was sick that day.
Yeah, because I was talking about Coop and Aaron Gordon.
He missed in his career.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was a bummer.
Yeah.
Coop playing today against the Knicks. Now, the Knicks have a pair of wing defenders, Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. You might have heard of them. This year, whenever they're both on the floor, the Knicks have a 115.1 defensive rating, which is a little higher than it would be on NBA.com. But either way, it's like fine, kind of good. That goes up to 116.6 with only Mikal on the floor, 123.3 with only OG on the floor, and it's 119.6 without both of them. So those two are really, really important. And that's because the Knicks have a lot of small guards that aren't good defenders, and then their only big that they play is either Cat, who's not much of a defender, or Mitchell Robinson, who is kind of a deterrent at the rim, but he's not the fleetest of foot. All right, so they really need OG and Mikal to get physical and contain dribble penetration on the outside. Now, the last time the Mavs played the Knicks, that game came down to a call at the end of the game, which we defended that call, by the way.
We did actually defend that call.
And the last 2-minute report agreed with us.
The last 2-minute report also did agree with us.
But
for whatever that's worth.
OG did not play in that game for the Knicks.
That's correct.
Now, obviously, neither did Coop for the Mavs. Up until recently, that was the only game in his career that he'd missed completely.
That's right.
So we have not seen Cooper Flagg and OG on the same court together. And much like I talked about Aaron Gordon's physicality and how that could be an interesting matchup for Coop in that game, OJ's
the juice.
OJ Simpson, please do not let him anywhere near Coop. But OG,
rest in peace.
I feel like has the size and the strength to maybe make life difficult on Coop. Mikal, good technique as a defender, but I think Coop can maybe overwhelm him a little bit with strength. OG, not so much the case. So I'm really interested in seeing how those teams match up. Now, in that other game, the last game that I was talking about, the Mavs only had 30 points in the paint that night. Only 30 points in the paint. That's not a lot. They average 53.5 points in the paint per game this year, 6th most in the NBA. The Knicks allow only 45 per game, which is 4th fewest in the NBA. So despite not having much in the way of perimeter defenders outside of those two and much in the way of rim deterrents at all, the Knicks still managed to keep teams on the perimeter, whereas the Mavs really, obviously, the entire foundation of their offense is built upon paint attacks. So I'll be really interested to see what kind of level of success Coop has today.
The starters for the Mavericks and Knicks are out. We're back to the point flag experiment today.
No.
Cooper Flagg, Max Christie, Dwight Powell, Caleb Martin, and Najee Marshall.
Caleb Martin and Najee
are your starting five. So
cool.
Kind of a small lineup.
So you're playing like all small forwards.
Outside of Cooper, that's a fairly small lineup.
Yikes.
Because Dwight Powell is not obviously your traditional center. He goes about 6'9", 6'10". But Flagg is going to be your point guard to start off with. So Ryan Nembhard nor Brandon Williams will start today. They'll come off the bench, which obviously means, well, D'Angelo Russell was ruled out sick anyway, so never mind. And the next starter is going to be Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, and Jalen Brunson, their normal traditional starting five for the New York Knicks. That gets us to our lead story going into this afternoon's game. It is a difficult road ahead for your Dallas Mavericks. They are playing their final 12 games before the All-Star break, starting with the New York Knicks today. And over those 12 games, they will play only 2 opponents with a losing record during that span, that being the Charlotte Hornets and the Milwaukee Bucks. Otherwise, this is a Mavericks team who already has the 3rd hardest remaining schedule for the remainder of the season. The only 2 teams with a more difficult schedule for the final portion of the season are the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets. So the Mavericks, of course, just 17 days away from the NBA trade deadline, are going to be playing arguably their most difficult portion of their schedule starting today. That also includes a couple of back-to-backs starting this weekend when they take on Luka Doncic and the Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks in a home road back-to-back. And then they'll have another one later on this month. So, Bobby, start with you on this because obviously we know where the lottery odds are. The Mavericks around that 8-9 range when it comes to lottery odds. This feels like yet another major inflection point on the season for this team, given the difficult nature of the opponent they're going to see over the next few weeks.
And can I say something? I can't actually find the Mavericks starters. So whoever put that in the chat, please tell me where that is.
On the internet.
Because I can't, like, usually the Mavs tweet out the starters. They have not tweeted out the starters yet for some reason. And I haven't seen anyone tweet it either.
Okay.
So either my phone is broken.
Maybe it's on display at Madison Square Garden. Maybe they're joining us from New York.
Or maybe they're a spy from the locker room.
Maybe, wait a minute. Is Jason Kidd in the chat? J Kidd, don't answer that question. All right.
Just.
So Coop did play in that Nuggets game. He only played 14 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the first
Knicks game.
Knicks game.
No, whenever he was going up against Aaron Gordon.
Oh, yes, he did.
Okay.
Yes,
Gordon.
He turned his ankle.
Yeah, so he in 15 minutes, he scored 6 points, 3 of 9 from the field. So he was not super. Granted, there was a lot of weird stuff with that game. Whatever. Anyway, you're talking about what, like how important it is to lose?
Yeah, it's a real inflection point. I mean, these 12 games we mentioned, only 2.
It's not an inflection point. They're not going to win.
Well, I'm saying like from the standpoint of these are there are lottable, losable opportunities, if you will.
Oh yeah,
over the next 12 games. Chuck Cooperstein, the radio play-by-play voice.
Yep. Thanks, Luke. I found it
earlier. So there you go. But yeah, there's a lot of opportunities for this team. Luke's going to be playing a lot of quality opponents, which I think for a lot of folks, they won't necessarily mind competitive losses.
Yeah, I thought I was looking at like the net ratings and stuff, and for some reason, like we talked about it on the post game, our last post game show, like Jalen Brunson for some reason is a negative net rating for the Knicks this season. But I was like, why? It's because he's 125 offensive rating on the court, like absolutely elite. The problem is he has 121 defensive rating when on the court. And when he's off the court, they have 110 defensive ratings. So it's a 10.4 swing in defense with Jalen Brunson on or off the court. Like that's like hit like crazy. Versus with Cat, who's also not known as a good defender, it only swings a point. Like it's with him on or off the court. So Cat actually is a plus 6.4 net rating. I thought that was really interesting. So I mean, I think teams are just getting a lot smarter in the NBA. We've heard that talked about a lot. If Brunson's on the court, you got to just get him into an action. You got to attack him. As long as they're going to keep him out there, you have to attack him every possession.
When usually the old adage goes, got to be top 10 in offense and top 10 in defense if you want to have a shot to win the title. Now, the Knicks, with all of the injuries happening, obviously the Pacers roster, the Pacers don't even exist anymore. The Celtics keep winning despite Tatum being out.
Brown's
Maybe he's going to end up coming back.
He might be back soon.
The Knicks are considered by some to be like, well, they have the most healthy star power of any team in the East. Are certainly up there. Obviously, the Pistons emerged. There are other teams that are playing well, but the Knicks this year, 20th in defensive rating.
Oof.
The Clippers, 21st. The Nuggets, 23rd. The Lakers, 26th. It's a bunch of teams that we thought were all going to be top 6 or top 4.
Yeah.
In their confry, and they can't get any dang stops. So
did you just say confry?
The plural of conference.
That was nasty.
Conference.
It was nasty ball. It was nasty ball.
You got to be able to get stops, man. And none of those teams. I mean, the Mavs have just trounced. Well, I wouldn't say trounced. A couple of them were very close, but the Mavs have beaten the Nuggets this year and scored pretty easily against the Nuggets. The Mavs almost beat the Knicks. And the Mavs offense isn't very good, but that just goes to show you got to be able to play defense because you're not always going to score 140 every night. Some nights you're going to need your defense to help you win. Just like for the Mavs, sometimes whenever they're winning games, it's low-scoring games, and they win with defense. But what happens if the other team makes some shots? Can you make enough shots to keep up?
Nope.
And the answer for them oftentimes has been no. So you got to be good at both ends, man. It's not just one thing that wins you titles. All right, it's not just offense. It's not just defense. You got to be really good at both of them.
Or special teams.
And it's not just special teams either. And the Mavs this year, they're still clinging on to the number 10 defensive rating.
How?
But they're only 27th in offensive rating.
Ugh.
And they still have the third toughest remaining strength of schedule. So, it's amazing, honestly, that the Knicks have been able to win as many games as they have despite their, lack of defensive consistency.
Yeah.
The Knicks, of course, will be led by Eastern Conference All-Star starter this year, Jalen Brunson, who's averaging over 28 points per game. That's 8th in the association this year and over 6 assists per game in 37 games. Karl Anthony Towns averaging a monster double-double this year, averaging nearly 21 points per game and 11.5 rebounds per contest. That's good for 2nd in the NBA in 39 games this year. Of course, the Mavericks will be led by the returning leading Rookie of the Year candidate, Cooper Flagg, who, of course, this year averaging nearly 19 points per game and over 6 rebounds per contest in 40 games. Najee Marshall giving you over 14 points per game in 43 games so far this year. The Knicks' statistical profile offensively is really good. Number 3 offensive rated team in league, as Bobby mentioned. Number 19 in defensive rating coming into today's action. 8th overall in net rating. They are 7th in points per game, 3rd in three-point percentage, and 8th in free throw percentage so far in 42 games. Final meeting between these two teams this season as the Knicks look to sweep the season series. You remember the controversial game back on November 19th at the American Airlines Center where the Knicks got a 113-111 win. It was the Landry Shamet hour in the final minute of that game. He knocked down a couple of threes and took a controversial charge on Brandon Williams, which allowed the Knicks to escape with a win that night. Jalen Brunson led the way with 28 points for the Knicks to get the victory. We'll let you know who's in and who's out. Plus, we'll take a look at our Mavericks player spotlight here in just a moment. But before we get there, let's help you win some money when it comes to Prize Picks.
Prize Picks today, folks. We're getting a win. I feel good about this one. Klay Thompson, more than 10.5 points. He's been on fire lately.
A lot of points, though.
Karl Anthony Towns, more than 9.5 rebounds. All you got to do is kind of just
lock.
Yeah. Jalen Brunson, more than 34.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. I actually don't know if Brunson is going to get close to 30 points, but I do think he'll get some assists and rebounds. So I think that he'll be able to eke over the 34.5. That $5 lineup would net me $15 in cold hard cash, and I'm already fantasizing about what I'm going to do for dinner after the postgame show tonight. And that $15 might help me get to my goal. If you want to play along, use Prize Picks. Download Prize Picks. Create a new account. Use promo code DLLS when making your first $5 lineup, and your account will be gifted $50 in lineups to use anytime you choose on Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Tip-off is at 4 p.m. on NBC or Peacock, or if you're watching locally on KFAA Channel 29. Our National NBA Insider Mark Stein will be joining us during our post-game show. So you do not want to miss that. We are 17 days away from the NBA trade deadline.
Crazy.
What is percolating in the NBA as Mark has made his return from overseas, where he did some tremendous work covering the European games with the Magic and the Grizzlies playing in Berlin, and then yesterday in London. Who's in and who's out? We'll start with the home team in the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson, he is back today after dealing with a right ankle sprain that's kept him out for a little bit. And Josh Hart is also available. He had been dealing with some right ankle soreness. The lengthy injury report for the Dallas Mavericks continues. Anthony Davis, of course, remains out with that left finger sprain, as he'll be out for at least 6 weeks. Cooper Flagg, he does make his return after missing the last 2.5 games with that left ankle sprain. D'Angelo Russell, though, out with illness. Daniel Gafford remains out with the right ankle sprain. PJ Washington remains out with personal reasons. Musa Cisse, Miles Kelly, and Ryan Nembhard all available, though, for your Dallas Mavericks. Interesting, of course, with Ryan Nembhard and Musa Cisse as they dwindle down their games on their two-way deals. The Mavericks will need to make room for one, if not both of them.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah, we are so back as
What
Ron
is that?
drops his screen protector.
It's my case.
Yeah.
It goes on the back of your laptop?
Yeah, that and the bottom,
Mhm.
What does it do? Is it just to protect against like scratches and wear and tear and stuff?
basically.
It's not doing a really good
Wow.
job of that this year because he keep dropping.
But yeah, scratches mostly.
Oh, no.
So that's your who's in and who's out. That gets us to our Mavericks player spotlight. We focus in on the knife, Najee Marshall. Najee Marshall has had a career year, continuing to slice up defenses night in and night out. Did so again against the Utah Jazz with 16 points in that win on Saturday. In fact, he scored 23 points in the first matchup between the Knicks and the Mavericks back in mid-November. And so far this year, averaging what is a fantastic 14.1 points per game, but over his last 10 games overall, giving you nearly 17 points per game and over 4 assists per contest, while averaging 30-plus minutes a night while shooting 58% from the field. We've talked about it plenty that Najee Marshall has a fantastic contract. He's been playing really well. He's getting some MIP love and consideration as well as one of the most improved players in the NBA. And he's not afraid to score in Madison Square Garden. You remember last year in New York, he had a 30-piece in Madison Square Garden for the Dallas Mavericks. So this is a player, Ron, who doesn't mind the stage of playing against the Knicks in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I mean, just big games, hopefully, for a lot of the younger Mavs players want to kind of see the Coops and the Ryan Nembhards and Max Christie just compete. Like, these are a lot of players that essentially do things similar that they do, but they're just older, more veterans. Like, Max Christie could look at Mikal Bridges and say, hey, why can't that be me? Like, similar frame, similar build. They do a lot of similar things. Bridges was ahead of Christie, at this point in their career. But if I'm Max Christie, like, why can't I have a career similar to what Bridges has kind of carved out for himself? Him competing with somebody like that. And Coop and OG Anunoby, like, Coop eventually will get even bigger than he is today. And a frame like OG Anunoby with Coop's speed and everything going downhill is going to be almost impossible to guard. Like, a lot of these players have a lot of similar traits to a lot of Mavericks. But I'm looking at a Christian Winfield tweeted that Mike Brown says that today feels like this is the first time that the Knicks have been fully healthy. So yeah, I guess against the Mavericks on MLK Day, the Knicks have their starting five that they've kind of wanted to put out there from opening night, of course, with Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench. And it seems like today is the day big kind of everything is kind of there for them. So we'll see if the chemistry is there. But this Knicks team, like Bobby says, is live star talent is that the defense is really poor. So at least if the Mavs lose, put up some points, everybody.
Dude, they've lost 8 of their last 10 and some of their losses. So the Spurs scored 134 on them. Sixers, 130. Pistons, 121.
Score, Mavs.
Warriors, 126. They're losing all these games by double figures. Like, they have been getting their butts beat lately, man. Every single one lost by at least 7 points, except for the loss to the Spurs, which was a 2-pointer. Was that that wasn't the cup, was it?
I don't think
No,
so.
no.
Like, it's not a lot. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't predict the Mavs to win the
they've
game.
been getting lit
but
up.
like,
they've been
you
getting
should be
lit
able to
up.
score, bro. I mean, again, OG Anunoby is a really good defender. Bridges is a really good defender. Hart is a positive defender for sure, but you can beat Josh Hart.
Cat is a turnstile on defense.
I would just get Cat and Brunson into every action and just
and they will
go with them.
If Najee's got JB's got some sturdiness to him
for sure.
It's like what I wonder is like if Najee tries to take JB off the bounce,
he
gives him a little nudge. Yeah. How much room is he going to create? But like
the floor is
Landry Shamet, Jordan Clarkson,
turnstile.
Dude, like Najee's gonna be able to bully them. Coop's gonna be able to bully them.
Just don't attack OG and no BLB. Probably okay.
Before we get to let you know some of the things that we're looking to watch for today, the Eastern and Western Conference All-Stars have been announced. In the Eastern Conference, Jalen Brunson, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Tyrese Maxey, Kate Cunningham, and Jaylen Brown are your Eastern Conference All-Star starters. And in the West, it is Victor Wembanyama, Nikola Jokic, Stephen Curry, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the leading vote getter for the 2026 NBA All-Star Game is, of course, Luka Doncic. So those are your Western and Eastern Conference NBA All-Stars. Real quick, any qualm with any of the All-Star starters for this year's USA versus World format?
Nope.
No qualms there.
How many of them are not from USA? Why are we naming All-Stars by conference if it's USA versus World?
Well, it's just the traditional naming of the East and West, and then they'll be mixed as the USA versus World.
Oh, okay.
But
I have absolutely no idea because technically, like, only the starters have been announced. We don't know who the reserves are. That's next week, to my knowledge.
So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there
are 5 World and 5 Team America?
No, I'm saying it's just total of the All-Star starters. You got 1 for
5 for each squad, yeah.
No, I'm saying just of the starters, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total. 5 of the 10 East-West All-Stars are American players.
Yeah, okay. So 5 American, 5 international?
World.
All right, so it ends up working out.
Yeah.
There you go.
So. And Donovan Mitchell says he wants to play for Team World. He'll make the All-Star team. He wasn't a starter, but he'll make the
Why
team.
Does Donovan Mitchell want to play for Team World?
I think he said people don't know he's like... We were talking about Blackman.
Rolando Blackman.
We were just talking about that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was not... You left off the row part, and I was like, I don't know when
it
we
is
talked.
MLK Day,
I'm trying to say
we do support the black man in this country, but
yes.
No.
We do. I want to make it clear. We do. I do.
No.
But
yes.
But no, but yeah, I guess I didn't know. I'm going to be honest, I had no clue. I'm not sure. Like,
I did not know
Dude, if people
either.
are going to start like saying, well, my great-grandpa's cousin was from there, get me in the All-Star game. Like, come on, man.
I mean, Mike McDaniel in the NFL is getting
Kyrie Irving. Right? Kyrie Irving, technically, if he was an All-Star this year, could technically play
Australia, right?
For the world team. Yeah, because he was born in Australia.
We're just doing anything. I'm for it, though.
So, I mean.
To be fair, like, if they need to fit a player, like if they say, okay, we're short a world guy. I mean, okay, send Donovan Mitchell over there.
By the way, when you get a chance, check out the breakdown of the voting for this year's Eastern and Western Conference All-Stars. Anthony Edwards almost became an All-Star starter, but he was beat out by Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, it's like, all right.
For the vote.
I think I would have voted Ant the starter only because Wemby's missed a decent amount of games. That's why I would have probably had him over Wemby. But it's Wemby. Like, he's great. So
there you go. I think the biggest thing that I could safely say for the three of us that we're watching for this afternoon, Cooper Flagg making his Madison Square Garden debut, the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft, will get his first shot under the lights of the mecca of the basketball world in Madison Square Garden in New York City. That in and of itself will be fun to watch. Over the years, superstars of the Mavericks, Dirk Nowitzki, Luka Doncic have had incredible games inside Madison Square Garden. Maybe Cooper Flagg can follow in that same lineage with his first opportunity to play against the Knicks.
Do a cool dunk.
Yeah, a Madison Square Garden moment would be pretty awesome for Cooper Flagg today to see what he does as he works back from that left ankle injury as we move closer to the All-Star break. It's game time. As the Mavericks get ready to take on
bark.
Ballin'.
As the Mavericks get ready to take on the New York Knicks, we will have our post-game show about 10, 12 minutes after the final buzzer this afternoon. Remember, our national NBA insider, Mark Stein, will be joining us on our post-game show with reaction to this afternoon's game, plus the latest in the NBA trade deadline. What's going on with John Morant? What's going on the Mavericks front as we get closer to the NBA trade deadline, which will be on February 5th. So you don't want to miss that. Our national media insider Mark Stein back with us. Appreciate our guy Prophet making us look good and sound good today. Appreciate you, sir. That is our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Carella. That is our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr. I'm your man Kevin Gray. We are DLLS Mavs. We'll talk to you post game right here on DLLS Sports. Y'all be good. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.